Listen, you can't expect a purpose partner if you have not first partnered with your purpose. Why continue to rehearse that singleness is a curse? Did you hear me? You'll never feel right with the wrong one. I want to talk about what it means to be successfully single. Oh, I'm mic'd up. Join me and let's mix it up. What's good people? I hope you're having a great day in a great way. Please hit the thumbs up button on this video. Come on, hit the thumbs up button on this video. I'm growing your greatness. Help me grow my channel. Also, while you're doing that, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, hit the subscribe button as well. We're going to have a great, courageous conversation of illumination. In order to do that, let's turn the lights on. Yeah, drop some lights in the chat. Thank you for the likes, but I need you to drop some lights as well. Drop that light bulb emoji in the chat. Drop a few. Come on, let's light it all the way up in here. Turn it all the way up. Light it all the way up. Too lit to quit. Let's stay lit. Why? Because we are the light of the world. Today we're talking about being successfully single. Saying I do to you. Say I do to you. As I have said before, and I'll continue to say it again, you can't expect a purpose partner if you have not first partnered with your purpose. And here's the thing. We are waiting so much on somebody else to make us feel complete. And since we're waiting on other people to make us feel complete, here's what we do. We end up being needy and not needed. Being needed means here it is. I'm moving into a place of service to somebody. I come into a relationship to serve, not specifically just to be served. And here's what we do. We believe as a consequence that everybody's going to, or the type of person that we want is specifically going to make us feel complete and feel whole. To try to patch up and to try to fill the hole that is in our life that has never been filled. We want to jump a broom, but we don't want to jump into our purpose. And here's one thing that you got to realize. You have to realize how precious and priceless and valuable that you are. Because when you realize how precious and priceless and valuable that you are, you pour into your purpose and you're not solely focused on the person. Do you understand this? That singleness is not a curse. Singleness doesn't mean that you're undermined. Singleness doesn't mean that you're undervalued. Singleness doesn't mean that you're overlooked and you're underappreciated. Singleness is the fact of one being a whole number. One is a prime number. Why don't you walk in the prime prism of your purpose? Why are you feeling like you're so reduced? Why are you feeling as if you are a fraction to where your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit is fractured? Do you understand this about your singleness? Is that singleness ought to mean being selective? Singleness ought to mean that you have a standard. Singleness ought to mean this, that I'm saying I do to me. Come on, family, type that. Say I do to you. Type say I do to you. Do you understand how marvelous singleness is? Why is it marvelous? I can't believe it. Why would you say singleness is marvelous? I'm going out on a date by myself. I ain't got nobody. And this, that, and the other. You crying, woe is me. Take off the pity party hat. Singleness is marvelous. Why? Because you have the most time in your life right now to do what it is that you need to do in your purpose. Too many of us are saying, well, I'm going to write the book when I get married. I'm going to start the business when I get married. Could it possibly be that God wants the person to read your book because you wrote your book, even in your singleness? Could it possibly be that as you created your business in your singleness, the right person that God has for you is going to invest in your business to where you're able to grow that business and you're not waiting until you're married to grow it, to where now y'all not trying to just climb the ladder to success. But here's what you're doing. Because you developed and you set that blueprint and that foundation, you're able now to soar on wings as an eagle into a higher level, quicker, to go further and farther, faster than you've ever gone before. Too many of us are holding up our own blessing because we won't see the blessing of purpose. It is the fact that it is called purpose partner. We override purpose and we only focus on partnership. Here's the thing. When I walk in my place of purpose, I move into a place of service. Y'all not getting me today. Purpose underscores service. That's what it does. If you have not learned how to serve in your singleness, it's going to be tough for you to serve in your marriage. Because here's the thing. Who you are in your singleness will either lead to a marital bless or a marital mess. Who you are in your oneness is a snapshot of who you will be in your togetherness. What is the snapshot of my life looking at right now? What is the snapshot of my life looking like right now? In this time of your singleness, you ought to be forging your relationship more closer to God. You ought to be developing your discernment. You ought to be taking the time to go back to school. You ought to be taking that time to get the degree. You ought to be taking the time to write your book. You ought to be taking the time to build your business. You ought to be taking the time to love on yourself. You ought to be taking that time to go and take yourself on a vacation. You ought to take that time to particularly spoil yourself. You ought to take that time to do the healing from the trauma. You ought to take that time to deal with unaddressed traumas and triggers that are in your life that pull you away from the place of transformation. You ought to take that time to work on your brain and your body, your money and your mentality. You ought to take that time to where you're looking at the debt that you have. You're cleaning up your credit. Why is that? Because you don't want to be a burden to somebody. Yeah, marriage is a merger. So what you got to do? You got to merge your debt with their debt versus doing what it takes to get out of debt in your singleness. Here's what should happen. Being with someone should alleviate a burden, not cause it. So what should I do? I should be moving into a place of blessing, not burdening. I should be moving into a particular place of completion in my singleness to where we get as close to perfection as possible in our togetherness. Are y'all hearing me? Family type purpose partner. You don't get a purpose partner until you first partner with your purpose. Too many times our hands are in the hands of the wrong person. But when you are a purpose-driven person, your heart won't be in the hands of any man. Your heart won't be in the hands of any woman. Only your husband, only your wife. Could it possibly be that in the midst of you preparing, God is now preparing who is best for you while you're becoming the best you? I need you to hear me. Could it possibly be that God is preparing who is best for you while you're becoming the best you? Family type best. Best. Your ex saw the worst in you, but your next is going to see the best in you. But you need to see the best in you before they see the best in you. More than a wedding, God is aligning you at the right timing for the right marriage. So here's what you have to do. You have to presently prepare for the spouse in the future that you both will share. You have to take the time to literally work on you, and don't just work on you just so that you can get somebody. Because here's the thing, when you get somebody, you'll stop working on you. You'll stop going to the gym. You'll stop eating right. You'll stop studying to show yourself approved. You'll stop reading books. You'll stop itemizing your life. You'll stop doing the inductive study and the research and the self-development. Because here's the thing, self-development doesn't stop in your togetherness. Self-development doesn't stop because you stepped out of singleness. It's got to continue to enhance. It's got to continue to grow. Can't fight it. Can't doubt it. God is preparing you for it. God is doing it. You have to see it before you see it so you can receive it. Why should I expect God to bless me with anybody if I'm not right internally? Becoming the right one for the right one first begins by you being right for yourself. What's your attitude disposition? Because here's the thing, everything multiplies in marriage. Everything multiplies in relationship. You are not in a silo in a marriage or in a relationship. Everything multiplies. The attitude that you have multiplies. The one of gratitude that hopefully you have multiplies. Your disposition multiplies. Your respect or lack thereof, disrespect, multiplies. The attack is greater from the enemy together than you are separate. Why? Because even the enemy understands one can chase 1,000, two can chase 10,000. If I can't do spiritual warfare in my singleness, how do you expect to do spiritual warfare in your marriage? If you only know how to dress, if you only know how to slay, but you don't know how to pray. You don't have a prayer life in your singleness? What makes you think you're going to have a prayer life in your marriage? And generally, it's probably just going to be one-sided. This is about more than just a wedding ring. This is about God's particular timing. This is about more than just a wedding. A wedding is a sprint. The marriage is a marathon. Are you even a marathon runner now? I'm not just talking about physically. I'm talking about spiritually. Do you have any long distance? That speaks to patience. That speaks to long suffering. That speaks to kindness. That speaks to putting out a fire, not with fire, but with water. That speaks to, yeah, you may have had a disagreement, but you won't be disagreeable. Family, if you're not a member of our YouTube channel, go ahead, hit that join button, tap the join button. We've got colorful spectrum of people who are commenting and responding right here in our community simply because they have purchased a badge. I want you to purchase a badge as well. You can do it on any level, VIP, OQP, royalty, and you'll get access to our Connor's Corner content right here on this YouTube channel. It's exclusive behind the scenes content, things that I don't talk about on my social media, things that I don't discuss right here on my YouTube channel. Membership has its privileges. It's for members only. Tap the join button to become a member of our YouTube channel. And of course, I hope you're hitting the thumbs up button on this channel as well. Drop a super chat, drop a super sticker. We're having a super conversation. If you're not a member of our YouTube channel, or definitely do that, but also if you're not a member of our Eagles community, join that. Yeah, join us. We empower you to soar into the greatest success and purpose. Developing your spiritual gifts, overcoming emotional snipers to move into a place of emotional intelligence, relational intelligence, spiritual intelligence, transformative intelligence. Really tapping into the greatness of who it is that you are. I want you to join us. Go right now, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com, theeaglesacademy.com. We can get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form, be transformed. We're talking right now about being successfully single. How to say I do to you. You're a good man. You're deserving of a good woman. You're a good woman. You're deserving of a good man. The one who's going to love you, the one who's going to respect you, the one who's going to protect your heart in their hands. And here's what you have to do. You have to develop your level of discernment so that you're not choosing out of hurt, you're choosing out of healing. You got to develop your level of discernment to where you're not choosing out of need, you're choosing out of choice. You know you're ready to date, be in a relationship. You know you're ready to prepare for that next level in marriage. When you're not needy, you're needed. When dating is not a need, it's a choice. Because here's the thing, you're fine all by yourself. And so many people get into relationships because of a lack of feeling sufficient. They want to be in a relationship, they want to be in a marriage because they feel particularly deficient in an area. Family, in the midst of this special message, I got a special message for you. Oh, I'm going to pick this up. Don't touch that dial. I want you to stick and stay. More is on the way. After these messages, I'm coming right back. Family, listen and lean in. Don't you think it's time to grow your greatness? No, seriously, it's just us talking. If you intend to soar, you need to visit theeaglesacademy.com/store. Why? Because I want you to join my mailing list. I want you to get all the solutions, the strategies, and the systems to write that best-selling book. You know it's in you. You know it's your time. Time to cultivate your communication skills. Develop, learn the art of communication. So much more. Visit theeaglesacademy.com/store so you can soar. What's going on, family? We're talking about marriage as a merger. Marriage. Talking about successfully single as we prepare for the next level. Yeah, we are. Say I do to you before you ever say I do to them too. Hope you're going to heed to those resources that you've heard. We are right on it. Get back to the word. As we're looking at this landscape of success and singleness, as we're looking at the fact that, yes, marriage is a merger, marriage is a mirror, marriage is also a ministry, I think we also have to get to the particular place of, do I only want to be in a relationship or married because something is lacking in me? Because I don't feel fulfilled in my singleness. So here's what I have to do. I got to join with somebody to where I feel complete. Nobody's going to make you feel complete. Only God does that. It gets to a particular place to where you have mastered your singleness, you have become so successfully single in your relationship with God, in your purpose, in your spiritual development, in your ideas, your impact, your influence, in building your business, in navigating your life to where you know that you can improve somebody else's life. That's what it gets to. You're not going into a marriage to take, you're going into one to give. Family, type give. Type give. Why don't you type give? Simply because you are the gift that keeps on giving. Are you a gift that keeps on giving, or are you a curse that's stopping the person who you decide and the person who you have called to be a purpose partner? You got to start practicing to say, I do. Yeah. How do I practice saying I do? I practice saying I do to where I have consistency, to where I have commitment, to where I have self-control, to where I manage my flesh, my body, my relationships, my spirit. I'm working on being a better me, not for you. I'm working on being a better me, not for them. I'm working on being a better me for me. Say I do to you. Family, just type I do. Because here's the thing. Let's be honest. Many of us keep saying I don't. God is putting the purpose right in your hand. God is putting the purpose right in your face. God is putting the purpose right in your particular place. God is positioning you for purpose, and you keep saying I don't. I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm qualified. I don't think God has this type of thing for me because of my past. I don't. When you need to delete the letter N and T off of don't and turn into what you can do. God don't just call qualified people. He qualifies those who he's called. Your resume oftentimes can't even get you into places that God has favored you for. Stop focusing on what you can't do and what you don't do and what you won't do. And focus on saying I do. I do have what it takes to write that book. I do have what it takes to build that business. I do have what it takes to be the right man with a plan. You do have what it takes to be that woman who God has created you to be. You do have what it takes to say I do to the purpose that God has for me. You do have what it takes to become the right one for the right one. And becoming the right one for the right one first begins with you being right for yourself. You being a blessing and not a curse to yourself. Saying I do is a mentality. Saying I do is seizing the opportunity. Because here's the thing, carrots without character is chaotic. Carrots without character is chaotic. What is it to have a ring if it's not the right person? And it's the wrong timing. What is it to have a ring? Because that ring won't mean anything. You have to understand that timing is everything. The love you've been expecting is coming. Come on, family, type is coming. Type is coming. You got to prepare and stay ready. When you know that a blessing is coming, when you know that a package is coming, when you know that what you've been expecting in the mail is coming, when you know that it's close to being delivered, here's what you do. You start preparing. I need to make sure that I'm home at a certain time. I need to make sure that, I got company coming up. I need to make sure that my house is clean. I need to make sure that this is straightened and that is all in a row. I need to make sure. I need to prepare for what it is that I desire to receive, because for some of us, it may not be your time to date. It just might be your time to wait. Waiting on God is not a waste of time, because marriage won't heal you. Singleness won't kill you. It might not be your time to date. It just might be your time to wait. But waiting is not like a person waiting on an Uber. Waiting is not like a person sitting at a bus stop. Waiting, come on, family, type wait. W-A-I-T, type wait. Waiting is like a waiter or a waitress at a restaurant. When you come in to the restaurant of your choice, I don't know if it's Ruth's Chris, I don't know if it's Applebee's, I don't know if it's Chili's, I don't know if it's Cheesecake Factory, but whatever restaurant it is, the waiter or the waitress directs you to your seat. And here's the thing. The waiter or the waitress, when they direct you to the seat or your booth, they don't sit down in the seat in the booth with you. Imagine you come in there with your date and the waiter or the waitress takes a seat with you as if they're going to have dinner or lunch with you. What? What you doing? No. The waiter or the waitress is ushering you to a particular place so that they can wait on you. What do they come to do? They come to serve. I'm not waiting like a person at a bus stop. I'm waiting like a server at a restaurant. I'm working, I'm serving, I'm preparing for what I anticipate on receiving so that I can start delivering. Whatever you're waiting on, I want you to start serving in that capacity. Woo! Yeah. Whatever I'm expecting, I need to be serving in that particular capacity. Why? Because if serving is below you, relationships and marriage is beyond you. You taking a seat in an area where you need to be serving in. You looking to be served in an area that you need to be serving in. The greatest among us will not be served. The greatest among us shall be your servant. Come on, family, type serve. Because here's the thing, relationships and marriage is about the service business. It's about self-sacrifice. It's about going above and beyond to be with a person who you want on your arm. Are you willing to serve? Are you willing to move into a place of expectation by saying, let me roll up my sleeves? Let me get ready for what I want God to prepare for me. Let me get ready for what's ready for me. And could it possibly be that your purpose partner, that your spouse is ready for you, but God said you ain't ready yet? I can't keep holding off their time for the sake of you being ready at the right time. Because it seems as if you keep missing your time because you're with people who are temporary, but not someone who is permanent. Because you think relationships are a break glass in case of fire. Well, here's what you got to do. You got to love yourself. You got to know your worth enough to say, I'm going to have success in my singleness. Success spiritually. Success emotionally. Success in my emotional intelligence. Success relationally. Success to where I will address traumas, to where I will address triggers. Success to where I'm going to heal from mother wounds and father wounds. Success in my business. Success in my purpose to where I'm going to scale, where I'm going to level up, where I'm going to chart my growth. Why is that? Because nothing gets accomplished if it doesn't get measured. Right man's looking for a wife who's going to add value to his life. But here's the thing. He's also on assignment. He's also serving in a capacity to be able to add value to hers in return. My sister from another mister, you need to realize that. My brother from another mother, the right woman is on assignment for the right husband. God is preparing the right man who's going to be the husband for her, who adds value to his life. And as he adds value to her life, she's going to add value to his life. That purpose partner that God has prepared for you, that purpose partner that God wants you to connect to, sees in you what others are blind to. And here's what you have to do. Let the purpose partner find you working the vision that God gave you. Let them find you working. Let them find you serving. Boaz found Ruth in the field. Are you in your right field? Are you in your field of expertise? I don't know what field you're in. I don't know if it's the medical field. I don't know if it is the ministry field. I don't know if it's the entrepreneur, business field. I don't know if it is the technology field. I don't know if it's the media field. I don't know if it's the arts field. I don't know if it's the entertainment field. I don't know what field it's in. I don't know if it's the political landscape in the political field. But whatever field you're in, are you working your field? Why? What does it say in the movie The Field of Dreams? If you build it, they will come. Are you working ardently in your purpose to where God is now putting that person in proximity to connect with you? And when they connect with you, what will they find? Will they find an attitude that's a turnoff? Or will they find one of gratitude that connects them and brings them closer to you? What will they find? Will they find trauma and triggers? Or will they find transformation? What will they find to where you're either successfully or unsuccessfully single? Yeah, are you successfully single or unsuccessfully single? What will the right person find? Will the right person find that you're with the wrong one? Will the right person find that you're in your field? And you being in your field is going to produce a greater yield. As you're believing, as you're preparing, you got to know that your king is coming. My queen. You got to know that your queen is coming. King. Why? Because they're going to marry you at the right time and be your love for a lifetime. Family type lifetime. Lifetime. I'm talking about lifetime movies. I'm talking about lifetime marriage. I'm talking about lifetime togetherness. I'm talking about lifetime growth. You've asked, when will it be my time? And God is saying, I want you to get in alignment with your divine assignment. You don't have to compete. You don't have to compare. You don't have to complain. You just have to understand that your next will be greater than your last. Family, type next. Your next is now. Your next relationship, your next marriage is going to be better than the last one. Because it's about more than just finding the right one. Here's what it's about. It's about becoming the right one. The next idea, the next project, the next man, the next woman is going to be led by God's plan. Your next is now. What you prayed over, what you cried about, what you believe God for is getting ready to happen suddenly. Come on, family, type suddenly. Suddenly, God's going to turn it around. Suddenly, God's going to turn the line around. Suddenly, there's going to be a shift. Suddenly, things are going to shake. Suddenly, things are going to be set apart. Suddenly, you were last, but God has turned the line around to where now you're first. You're getting ready to receive what he has for you now because you're next. I know you type next, but type now. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I can't see it, but I believe it. I got to see it before I see it, or I never will seize it. Now, prepare. Now, develop. Now, write. Now, cultivate. Now, heal. Now, build. Now, develop. Now, get direction. Now, press into your purpose. Now, be successfully single. Now, say I do to you. Family, I want you to sow a seed into your purpose. I want you to sow a seed into what you're expecting with your purpose partner. Why is that? Because it's not as a debt that you owe, it is a seed that you sow. And God is preparing you for what He has prepared for you. God is preparing you for, here it is, who He has prepared for you. Yeah. It's not going to be a place of devastation. It's going to be a place of elevation. The tears that you cried, the tears that brought so much pain are going to now bring tears of promise, prosperity, and provision. What you cried about last time, you're going to rejoice over this time. What you were suffering in silence over last time, you're going to be shouting with resilience this time. Not losing your mind. You're renewing your mind. Because you said I do to you and the purpose that God gave you. You can sow into this word that you've heard. This word that you've heard. I want you to sow via super chat. I want you to sow via super sticker. Why is that? Because it's not as a debt that you owe. It is a seed that you sow. That's what it is. Not a debt that you owe. It is a seed that you sow. Super chat, super sticker. Electronically. You can sow via Cash App, $Access Identity, PayPal, Zelle, EddieConnorJr at Gmail as well. I believe God is doing 30, 60, 100 fold for you. And here's what I want you to do as you're sowing your seed. I want you to name your seed. Maybe you're naming your seed purpose partner. Maybe you're naming your seed love. Maybe you're naming your seed healthy relationship. Maybe you're naming your seed healthy marriage. Maybe you're naming your seed ideas. Maybe you're naming your seed greatness. Maybe you're naming your seed transformation. Maybe you're naming your seed identity. Why? Because your identity is not in your person. Your identity is not in a person. Your identity is in your purpose. That's what it's about. That's part of saying I do to you. Your identity is not in a person. Your identity is in your purpose. What is it to have them but lose you? Because here's the thing. If you're depleted before you get with them, you'll feel really incomplete after them. Say I do to you and the purpose that God gave you. I want you to name your seed as you're sowing your seed. I'm joining my faith with yours. That what you're believing God for, not only is He going to do it, but it's going to be exceedingly abundantly, above all, more than you can ask or think. Maybe you're naming your seed more. It's going to be more than you can bargain for. God's doing it, and I'm excited for it. Link to give is in the chat. The link to give, the links to give is in the chat, and the links to give are in the description of this video. If you're not a member of our YouTube channel, I want you to become a member simply by tapping the join button. VIP, royalty, OQP. Unlock exclusive footage, unlock exclusive behind the scenes content of what it is that I have for you, that I prepared for you, that I want you to jump into, that I want you to join and become a part of Why? Because membership has its privileges. Once you become a member, so that you can get all of the requisite, not just information, but revelation that I have for you in our member portal. Family, was this word a blessing to you? Was this word a blessing to you at all? Hear me. If you like what you heard here, you're going to love what you receive over there. Over there is in our Eagles community. Yeah, I want you to join us where we soar into greater success and purpose. Something is pulling you, something is nudging you, something is calling you, and it's your purpose. Don't ignore your purpose. Don't ignore your spiritual gifts. Don't ignore your emotional intelligence. Don't ignore your relational intelligence. I want you to soar into greater success with us and purpose. I do the teaching, I do the coaching, I do the training in our private group coaching, mentoring sessions of what it is that we have, the transformative homework, the breakout sessions, the Q&A discussions. It's impactful, and I want you to join us there. And you say, where's there? Go to theeaglesacademy.com. When you get there, tap the Join Now button. Fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. In our community of ideas, our community of impact, our community of influence, you have a marketplace mandate for ministry on your life. You have a marketplace mandate to do things not as usual, not to do business as usual, but to do it purposeful. Let me show you how to do that and more. Join our tribe. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Join us with so many amazing gifted eagles. Family, drop some eagle emojis in the chat. Let's soar into a greater level of success and purpose. Family, hit the thumbs up button on this video. Hit the thumbs up button on this video. In the Mix is out of time. But y'all know I'm not out of truth. And so I want to thank you for rocking with me. I want to thank you for riding with me. I want to thank you for rolling with me. Why? Because that's just how we roll. And we do that each and every single weekday, Monday through Friday. For In the Mix, right here on the YouTube side. And then we also got our sister stations. We got our sister satellites on social media. But this is the headquarters. Yeah. As you're over here, hit that thumbs up button on this video. And then also, I want you to make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our tribe. Subscribe to our tribe. I don't want you to be a ghost follower. I want you to be a for real follower. Follow me as well on social media at EddieConnorJr. Come on, put some respect on my name, family. EddieConnorJr. If I can help you, if I can serve you in any way, don't hesitate. Please reach out to me. If you're looking for a dynamic speaker, look no further. I'm the man for the job. Feel free to invite me to your church, your conference, your community center, your school, your college, your graduation, your session. Let's make progression. And you can do that by inviting me via email. info@EddieConnor.com. I would be honored to serve and empower you. It's yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother, and I mean that, from another mother. Family, it's been fun, but you know a brother gotta run. But I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes you, to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter, peace, and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. So what's your ETA? Your destiny is waiting for you to launch into your next dimension. You know, I realize one of the greatest gifts that a teacher can give you is speed. What do I mean? They can take what they've learned in decades and give it to you in days, moments, and months, and give it to you and instruct you in minutes. This is exactly what I do in my Eagles community. I want you to go to theeaglesacademy.com right now to get access to my private mentorship group where I coach, teach, train, mentor you to transform your thinking by increasing your ideas, your impact, and your influence. You need to know that you were created to soar into more and become more. I want to be your coach. I want to be your tour guide to help you to navigate the landscape of your potential and take you to a place within yourself that you can't go by yourself. It's your time to move into new realms of abundance, to reimagine, reshape, rethink your life, and influence your future through your spiritual gifts, development of your purpose, the emotional intelligence, relational intelligence, business acumen, to maximize your marketplace mandate, and so much more. And our Eagles community is where we learn, we lead, we laugh, and we love on a greater level. I want you to aspire higher with us. Get your wings to win, and let's soar into more at theeaglesacademy.com. Can't wait to see your face in our digital space.